Did you? Oh, good.
We are on filmsgonewild.com. My name is John Wildman. I'm the editor-in-chief of Films Gone Wild. Right now we're at Dances with Films LA. This is my last interview of the day, but I'm really glad that I could end on this because I'm a really big fan of this film. Introduce yourself.
My name's Ben Todesco. I'm the writer, director, and producer of the short film Obit.
Introduce our audience to Obit. They have not seen it as yet.
Okay. Obit is a story about an introverted, lonely obituary writer who's dealing with mortality and her own unfulfilled life in the last week of work. So,
you know, I have to tell you, and I've seen so many fucking movies, and I've made movies myself, and whatever, and yet I did not see where this goddamn thing was going.
really, that surprises me.
And I credit you with that, rather than condemn myself for being a fucking idiot that I didn't pick up on the foreshadowing. But I credit that to the fact that you so thoroughly, for me, placed me next to this character and with her, that I was looking at other things, and I was with her on other things, and I did not see where she was heading.
What was right in front of you.
What was right in front of me, and which I think is your point for this whole fucking thing, yes?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this film. It was very, very personal. I'm surprised you don't remember, because this won the screenplay competition at Waco in 2023. I was originally supposed to make it there.
I do remember winning, but I didn't know what.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you're busy, so I can understand you weren't there for the reading. But yeah, it is an extremely personal story. I came up with the idea. I wasn't really planning on making short films or anything like that again, but I was going through my own depression at a time, and I was in a relationship that it was ruining the relationship, and I wrote this to try to convey to her what it was. It wasn't, and then I don't even remember submitting to Waco. And this film has taken on a life of its own because of that, winning that screenplay competition. Then all of a sudden it's like, I raised the money really fast, which I've never done for a short. Normally, I'm just throwing my own money into it. But all of a sudden, I had this lump of money to make a film, and telling this very, very personal story that even as I was going through the process, I was doing better at one point and considered changing the ending to make it happier. But then during the process, as I was literally having to move from shooting in Waco to shooting in Iowa, flying from, Texas to Iowa, had something happen that made me realize it was like, no, I have to stick to the story that I originally made. This has to be for the people that go through this, not necessarily for the people that are on the outside, that don't deal with depression, that don't have these thoughts that I shouldn't be here anymore, but serious thoughts of that. Not just, I think everybody at some point in their life goes like, God, wouldn't it be great if I wasn't here? But, there are some of us that it goes further than that, and it really is a challenging thing, and it's a film for those people to feel less alone.
Well, and here's the thing, and I go, I don't want to give away the end, but then I'm going, was I the only idiot that didn't see the end coming? But I'm going to pretend that I'm not the only idiot that's not seeing the end, so I'm not going to give away the end. But I will say this, that I am certainly not alone to have been touched, and in my realm of people, acquaintances and friends I know, have people that have dealt with depression to the severest extent, and the ultimate end to that, result of that kind of depression. So there is that. But what I would also love for you to talk about then is the execution of this, because that's why I think it is so goddamn effective. Is that there's such great care taken with the minutia and the nuance. And that doesn't happen by accident, and it also doesn't happen easily. So I would like for you to talk about the challenges of getting that right.
I think on this film it was not just me. It was a lot of instinct. I think getting played out and letting people be great at what they were there for on set. My lead, Natalie, I mean, she absolutely killed it. Like I said, I had originally written this for somebody else, but when she came in, it was so many other things were happening that it was like, I need somebody I can trust. I need a great actress that I know is going to be there for us in a place that's not home, and if is going to do the work ahead of time, that then if I have to have my focus somewhere else, that she's going to be able to pull this off. So she was instrumental. And I think, the conversations we had after I sent her the script, and she found, this character of Julia that was her, but also was very careful to understand and want to understand why there were little nuances that I added into the character, things that you wouldn't expect. And then my cinematographer, Wei, I mean, because we get to Iowa, and he and I flying there, all of a sudden, like one of the biggest snowstorms to ever hit the Midwest happens. We have to rent a car and drive from Chicago through a snowstorm. We get there, and people are like, how did you guys get here? We're like, we drove. They're like, but how? We're like, very slowly. They're like, but why? It's like, because tomorrow we have to scout because we shoot on Thursday. And then what happens is, so we scout locations, everything is a disarray. We have to find all of our locations the Wednesday afternoon and start filming a couple things because there's a polar vortex and another snowstorm moving in the next day through our shoot. It never got above zero once we started shooting. The coldest it got was -55. So when I say there was a lot of instinct, was we were having to switch things up. We were having locations we had never seen, and it became, I think, about feel for Wei and I, everybody that was there, actors included, like people. A lot of the people that wanted to be there or that were there wanted to be there. There were crew members, like my sound guy had a very personal connection to the story. He agreed to come out and basically, I wanted to pay everybody a little bit because the strikes and everything and whatever, but it was like he had a relationship to the story, wanted to be a part of it. And you could feel that. I think everybody could feel that from the people that did have this connection. And being on set too, I think one of the other things that was really, really pivotal for getting this right was my brother cut it, and he was there. He was on set. He was acting as our DIT, downloading, but he was immediately starting to cut. And so he's a couple hours behind us, but the other crew people, maybe the ones who didn't have like this very personal connection, we're going over and watching scenes, and the most the heart-wrenching scene at the end is one of the first things we shot. And I think at that moment, I knew, I was like, okay, this is gonna work. I've now seen what Natalie does on one side of this. This is gonna be something special. And I think everybody else was able to go in. They were able to look at little cuts and see scenes kind of coming together, and we're going like, wow, we're doing this. And I think that's something that crew members don't get very often. They're lucky if they even come to the screening. And they were real time, like watching a scene come together that we had done a few hours ago and going like, oh my God, I love this. I can see what I did. I see my contribution and why it's so special in this. And I think that it was those things. It was the team like kind of coming together in a way that we just had to.
The greatest compliment I can give to you about Obit is that there clearly is great caring done with the making of this, and I know as I say that out loud, you go, oh, so no other filmmaker cares, and you go, well, no, that's not what I'm saying. But there's such an overt feeling I had watching it. That it just comes off the screen, it's successful, and it's also yet another great success of the Waco Independent Film Festival with their screenplay thing,
Yeah,
because
it's amazing.
one after another, they actually churn out shit that gets made.
Gets made
is
and made
really, really
beautifully.
good.
And
Yeah. So
yeah.
this is another feather in their fucking cap as well. But seriously, Ben, congratulations on this.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, it is a special film, and I think one of the things that I've started to learn is that, you know, with this and hopefully with future projects is they do take on a life of their own. Let it take on its life, be a part of that, and, you know, I'm there to just kind of guide it. But even now, like as it's going through the festival process, as it's moving on potentially beyond the festival process and circuit and that, I do see that it's wanting to become something on its own, with me involved or maybe without me involved. And I'm just embracing it, and I'm letting the people that reach out and want to do something different with it, let them do that. And it is becoming kind of this spider web of like, oh, it may go this way. Oh, it's kind of going this way. Oh, this person wants to do this with it, and it is. And I love that because this is a very important topic, not just for me, but I do think one that people are trying to figure out. They're trying to figure out how to either be a part of it or deal with it or whatever that is, or watching somebody go through it. And if this is just one little thing that helps knock another ball forward, then great.
Again, the film is Obit, screening at Dances with Films, LA. This thing has got to have a huge fucking tour. Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.